Hey friends, ooh, I am zoomed in. Happy Monday. Welcome to my live. And if you happen to be watching the replay, welcome to the replay. My name is Robin and I'm with Robin's Egg Blue Creations, and I'm also an independent designer with Couture. So once you hop on the live tonight or you hop on the replay at a later date, please feel free to say hi in the comments and tell me where you are watching from. I am live in 2 locations this evening, so if you hear me refer to a comment that you don't see in your feed, that person is probably watching on a different platform. And if you are watching live on Facebook, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up or a heart button and also a follow, I would greatly appreciate it. If you are watching on YouTube, again, thumbs up and subscribe. Again, I would greatly appreciate it. That just helps out my little channel. And if you would also share this out on Facebook to whatever places you have permission to share, I would greatly appreciate it. And tag your crafty friends and invite them to watch along with you. See that Jason says he's watching from the other side of the door, and Benita says, hey, hey, hey. I'm live at an earlier time. Probably going forward, I will try to be going live at 7. I was just getting done a little too late. Plus, Jason and I are going to start doing our devotion and Bible study at 9, so I need to try to be done by then. So hopefully 7 o'clock works for you. If not, I apologize. And you can always catch the replay if you don't catch the live. And then this week's schedule will be a little weird. Jason and I are going out of town for my mom's birthday, so I think I'll be live tonight, and I'll be live tomorrow night, hopefully after my grow group for a quick project, and then I'll be off the rest of the week. So, wah wah. And then next week it should be back to regular programming. So with that, let's go ahead and flip the camera and let's get this project started. Benita says it works for her. Woohoo! So I have this scrap wood leaner that I created for Valentine's Day, and it had a bunch of glittery hearts at the bottom, I used like the brushed heart size D transfer. It never sold. It sat here, sat here, sat here. So I think I sanded it down to bare wood on this bottom half. So I think I'm going to make it kind of a evergreen / fall project. Sadly, I drug my heels. I've always had this planned to do the sunflower pattern on this leaner, and my apologies, I waited too long and this is now out of stock. But I did link quite a few other size D transfers in the cart link in the description of the video. A lot of them are on sale. I think they might be on sale if you're a Perks or a designer, but there are some great size D transfers that will work in lieu of this sunflower pattern. So again, I apologize for dragging my feet that this is now out of stock. My bad. I have had it on my list of things to do for weeks and I didn't. So I need to try to find a place to put this. Actually, let's throw it back over this way. So I did a little bit of prep work. I did do a very rough base coat of white, and then I do want to sand that a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit, just to kind of smooth out my paint. It looks a little rough here, but we're going to do something with that. So I'm just going to sand it with a, I think this is 120. Sorry if you have earbuds in. Kind of get up in here and kind of even that out a little bit. And then let's find my tack cloth. So how was everyone's weekend? If you are local to me, did you stay cool? It was unbearable this weekend. We drove over to McPherson on Saturday night. There was a pretzel truck. It's called the Salty Knot Pretzel Company. And so they had their food truck out, so we went and tried it. It was yummy. We had a salted pretzel with nacho cheese, and so we split that, and then we got a dessert pretzel, which was the churro one. So it was a cinnamon sugar pretzel with a caramel drizzle, and I think it had like cinnamon roll icing. I think that's what it had. Okay, I need to find a paintbrush. Okay, you could very easily paint with butterscotch. However, it is out of stock. Anita says, "Oh yum! I love a good pretzel with nacho cheese." I wish the nacho cheese would have been warm. It was cool out of the container, but the pretzel was warm and the sun was warm, so there's that. But it was really good. They had like peaches and cream pretzels. They had, I think, strawberries and cream. They had salted caramel. They had a coconut cream. They have all sorts. Okay. Like I said, you could paint with your chalk paste. I think I'm going to mix a little bit of maize with hazelnut. I think. I kind of want a deeper, do I? I was just going to see what kind of color I could get. It'll probably be It'll probably be poo brown, knowing my luck. I just need to find a container of some sort. I guess I could use this. So if you're local to me-ish, local to this area, follow the Salty Knot Pretzel Company. They were quite tasty. Okay, so I'm gonna give this a kind of a stir because it was slightly not mixed. This is kind of a pretty color on its own, but I kind of want a deeper. This isn't as maize as it says. I'm trying to think what else they had. Did they have an Oreo one, Jason? I can't remember. They had all sorts. Ugh. This one needs a good stir. That one might need more than a stir. Oh, there we go. I think all of the color is on the bottom. Oh, it still needs a good stir. It needs a good shake. Oreo turtle, yeah, they've got it all. It was yummy. So just follow their Facebook page because that's when they post. That's where they're going to be. Some are private, some are public. But it was tasty. Okay, so that's hazelnut. I'm not going to use a whole lot right yet. Let's see what that does. And this may be the wrong color to try to mix and maybe going the wrong way. Yeah, I think I'm going the wrong way. I think I know what I need to do. Ugh. I think I need to go dark. Not light. I'll get the trusty raw umber out and see what that does. I'm probably just making brown. I'm probably making hazelnut. Yep. We're going to have every color under the rainbow. Ah, fart. I'm terrible at color mixing. Oh, now I just made, I made hazelnut. So let's just go with this. I'm going to put this back on right. We'll just save that for another project, shall we? And we'll just do maize straightforward. I need to take a class in like color theory and color mixing. I'm not good at it. Okay. I was wanting a deeper, more like this. So I probably should have started with a darker brown or even an orange to put in that. But I'm just going to go with this. I'm not going to try to color mix. I'm over that. Okay, I do think I'm going to add some tape up here. And I'm really only going to burnish this bottom portion because I don't want to take off any of that top paint. So we're just going to use this. Wasn't quite the color that I was wanting, but we're just going to do a really rough paint. If that white shows through underneath, that's fantastic. I might go over it with some antiquing gel afterwards to kind of darken it up a little bit. I also thought about putting some of that Waverly Antique Wax in to darken it, but I chickened out, so we're just going to use this. This will work. And I think I'm going to leave the sides white if I can, and just do this top layer. So this is literally some scrap wood. My husband and son's place of employment were swapping out shelves, and this was literally scrap wood. I had to sand off quite a few layers of motor grease and dust and warehouse dust. I need to figure out how to get on some construction or remodeling crews scrap list, because I know they've got 2x4 scraps. I don't quite know how to do that. I need to get some connections. And I don't know if you all saw, I rescheduled my first Whatnot show to August 15th. I had a few panic moments and thought I need to just step back and figure out what the heck I was doing. And I think we figured it out. We just need some time to gather things and weigh things and list things properly so that everything gets shown well. Yeah, Benita, do you know of anybody that could hook us up with some scrap wood? I'd share with you, or you could share with me. If you know anybody. I mean, I have wood, don't get me wrong. I need to be using what's in the garage, but okay. Let's a big knot right there. Okay, let's give that a dry. Okay. So we had a new Harry Potter launch last week. It's called the Autumn 2026 launch, but it's not referring to actual fall-oriented Harry Potter products. That's just the time of year that it's launched. Although, if you think about it, Harry Potter does fit in well with the whole cozy fall vibes and Halloween and wizards and things like that. It also, there are a few Christmas related ones just because most of the Harry Potter movies include Christmas in the plot. I just don't want you going on to look and seeing that it's not like, you know, pumpkin spice Harry Potter and things like that. It's mainly just referring to the time of year that it's being launched, but I think it does fit in well with cozy fall movie watching vibes, the spooky dark arts of Halloween, and then just gift giving for those Harry Potter fans and the Potter world and Pottermore and the Harry Potter universe, people that are in your life. A little bit more of a dry. And then free shipping for, or not free shipping, flat rate shipping for designers and perks members has been extended through the 31st. So it's $8.99 shipping on any order. New or Club Couture subscribers who place a $50 order by July 31st gets a free surface. There's also Christmas in July doorbuster deals for perks members and designers. So it definitely pays right now to be a perks member. It also pays to be a Club Couture subscriber. You can join between now and the 31st for just $1 for your first month for Club Couture members. So if you've been on the fence or you know someone who you think would love to get a Club Couture subscription, let them know they can join for just $1 for August, and then of course September and October would be regular price. But if you join perks members, you can join Club for just $1. Shop at 30% off and fill your cart to $50, and you can get that free surface. And you can use your automatic $20 product credit and get even more in your cart. Just saying, it pays to be a perks member. And it pays to be a perks member who is also a Club Couture member. That right there. Okay. Okay, I think that's pretty dry. I think that might be all I do. I don't want it. I'm just going to peek. Yeah. I don't want a perfect in fact, I'm going to sand on it a little bit. The only thing I don't like is this not showing through, but that's okay. Okay, I'm going to get rid of some of this. I'm going to put this paint to the side. I'll figure out something to use it on. I just don't want it on my surface or on my desk because I will get my transfer in at 4 ways to Friday. Put away. Okie doke. Now, let's bring our sander back. And then I'm going to give the sides a light sanding just to expose some of those before I chop. Just mainly smoothing up my painted surface and kind of roughing up those edges before I place down my design. Otherwise, I run the risk of totally wrecking my design. Okay. Okie doke. So then let's bring out our wax, and I'm wondering if I, instead of using the natural wax, if I should use the dark wax. And I could even get, let's see what this does. If all else fails, I might also use some of the Dixie Belle wax, although this stuff is potent. Oops. Oh, I can get that to there. This stuff is potent, so I don't know. Let's see what this wax does. I don't always get true dark results with this, but let's just see what happens. Can't hurt. So I'm just going to apply a little bit with my wax applicator, and sadly Couture does not carry those anymore. Where did those go? I've gotten some similar things from I don't know where they're at. The Dollar Tree. No, I don't know what I've done with them. But you can just use, like, you can tear up an old t-shirt, you can cut apart like microfiber rags. Yeah, I don't know if this is going to do anything. It's not doing a whole lot, but that's okay. So this is going to act as a, trying to dig in there deep, as a barrier between my painted surface and my transfer, so that my transfer doesn't wreck my painted surface or stick so hard that it gets stretched or distorted, because then it will quit working correctly. It may not lay flat again if it gets pulled or stretched or distorted. So I'm just going to flip my applicator over and buff it out. Just kind of darken up on the edge, on the exposed edges a little bit, not a lot. Okay, that's probably good enough. Put it away. do something with this Dixie Belle wax later. We'll see. Okay, so I'm going to pull off my tape. That's what we're left with. I probably should have not gone up as high, but since my paint line was a little weird, I did. So now we're going to get out our fuzz cloths, because this transfer is humongo. So if you're new here or haven't ever heard of Couture, these are reusable silkscreen transfers. Hey, there's my pencil on the floor. I've been looking for a few weeks. These are reusable about a dozen times, depending on how well you take care of them. So because they are reusable, I need to mark somehow on the back side that this is the back side. You can just put a gigantic X if you wanted to. I label mine just so I know if I'm using more than one transfer, which one goes where. Not that that matters, because they're all D sizes are the same size, but it just helps. So that way, when I'm done cleaning this with water and a board eraser, I know that the transfer, once it's clean and dry and ready to be stored away, goes back on this side, not on this side. They also have an adhesive backside, and when you're using a C, D, or E size transfer, I always lay it face down, and then I peel the backer sheet off of the transfer instead of right side up and pulling the transfer off the backer sheet. You tend to get a little less of the transfer sticking to itself, and in fact, I'm going to fuzz it the same way. I'm going to pull my fuzz cloth off of my transfer, and all I'm doing right now is just using the lint from this terry cloth fuzz towel just to knock back a little bit of that adhesive, so that way it's not quite as sticky, but the sticky should return once you've washed and dried your transfer. So now let's do the same thing to this. And if in fact your transfer does wind up stuck to itself, don't panic, don't start pulling. Go take it to a water source like a shower or under your utility sink or your kitchen sink, and just slowly start to get it wet with some cold or warm water, and then start to gently pull it apart while it's wet, and you'll have more likely success getting it apart that way than you will any other way. So just don't panic and don't start yanking your dry transfer apart, because you'll most likely wreck your transfer. Ask me how I know. Okay, so I was playing with the alignment earlier. I want as many blooms on here as I can get, so I can get this one, a little bit of this one, a lot of this one, a little bit of this one, a little bit of this one. So I'm going to line up all of the straight. I'm going to line up the straight edge up here, which technically I don't have to, because I'm going to put something there. So I'm actually, I think, going to put this little scallop piece there. So that looks like a good spot. So I don't have to worry about any straight edges there. So I'm good. If you don't have a knack for lining up your kind of your color blocking when you do round porch leaners, these little scallop pieces are great. They are on my chalk site. However, I think they are out of stock right now. But to be honest, I got a longer one at a big box craft store. So until it's back on my chalk site, you might want to pick one of those up at that craft store. So I think I'm just going to go basic black. I can either use my small squeegee or my handled squeegee, which I have put both in the cart link in the description. I honestly haven't ever used this one, so maybe we should give it a go. So I'm going to put a few large dollops. This handled squeegee is supposed to be great for your larger projects because, you know, we don't want the silk screen to dry. Oh yeah. So we don't want the silk screen to dry in the transfer. So this definitely makes quick work of dragging your chalk paste along a large surface. Holy moly, where has this been all my life? And I think I own like 4 of these. So then I want to come back, remove the excess, get rid of all those squeegee lines, which honestly there aren't very many. I can take the excess from this and I can pop it right back in my jar. I'm going to come back and get some of this off the side. Holy cow! Why don't I use that very often, any more than I do? I'm going to pick up a little bit here. Okay, I think that's good. Now I'm going to peel it up slowly in case I missed a big spot. But I did not. Woohoo! Okay, I'm going to take this over to my sink and I'm going to spray it down until I can get it washed properly. I'll be right back. This is actually what the newer one looks like. It's a lot more pliable. This one is fairly rigid, but it still worked great. So if you're going to do big projects with the D's and the E transfers in all one color, I highly suggest getting one of those. Okay. These to the side. Okay. Now let's get that dry. I just feel bad that I didn't. Jason said, dang, power tools. I'm just sad that I didn't use this sooner so that you guys could all take advantage of it. It's a gorgeous transfer. It'd make gorgeous pillow. I've seen it done with pillows. I think in the lookbook they used it on an apron. It'd even be really pretty instead of black, just going with like espresso or even bark. Jason says, that's beautiful. Thank you. I know now I kind of want to keep it, but it will probably go to Race Rustic. But I can easily make more. So if you want one and you're local, hit me up. I'm more than happy to customize one for you. And I did link this Mylar stencil that does the Home Sweet Home. I got it from Stencil Smith. And I did list the link down in the description of the video. It is not an affiliate link, so I don't get any compensation, sadly. I love Stencil Smith Mylar stencils. I haven't bought any for a long time, but okay. So this is going to get slightly tricky because these boards have a more than slight warp to them. So I'm going to have to do a lot of bending to make it work. Right now I'm just going to tape it down, hopefully, so I can flip it over to mark it where I need to cut it. Benita says that's a beautiful transfer. I know, I feel terrible that I didn't use it until now. Bart. Let me grab my pencil that's on the floor before I get too invested. Maybe, I think maybe I can just screw. I think I can mark it that way. And then maybe mark it this way-ish. And figure out how to cut it. Well, I have some clamps. I have these, but it's not very pretty to show you a finished leaner with clamps on the side. I think I can use this again since we're mostly working with straight edges. I'm going to cut a little to the outside of my lines. I can always trim off if I need, but I can't put it back on. Man, that cuts like butter. That. I think I might cut a wee bit off of each end. Just a skosh. Do you have some fancy little clamps, Bonita? I think that is pretty darn close. Okay, let's throw those away, and then I'm going to give those edges a little sanding. Just give them a little bit more smooth. And I might come back in and I could even just use brown marker to mark those up. Let's use some of those scrap pins. Just test it. I just want to make sure it's not too red. Oh, that's really dark. please. I think that will work. I'm just using an alcohol marker to kind of color that in. Oops. Cheating. Okay. Okay. Now we'll get out our wood glue. Ooh. Oh. Probably should make sure that these clamps fit before I get too carried away. Just barely. Okay, let's see if this works. I'm just going to add some glue. And before you come at me, I'm probably an over gluer. But I don't want things to fall off. Okay. I almost need 4 hands for this. Ugh, sploogeing out glue everywhere. It will dry clear. That doesn't mean I want glue clumps everywhere. I'm just gonna hold it. I'm gonna hold it down for a little bit. I do want to take. Yeah. Got some pretty good glue clumps up here. Just be careful doing this because that wet glue, especially on some of those finer lines, may reactivate that paste. I think I might be able to, let's see, if I can get this while it's down. Oh gosh, I don't have enough hand strength. I can get that while it's down, but it moved. And then come around here. I can get it, but okay. So now I'm gonna wipe its little nose up here. This little end of your multi-tool works great. I guess that's why they call it a multi-tool. That looks better. Okay, I think that's good. So we're just gonna let that dry. Hopefully the warp doesn't work against us and not allow that to dry properly. If not, I may have to use some little, like those little furniture brad nails that are decorative to kind of help keep it down. But yeah, that looks really really attractive with those clamps. But as you can see, I don't know if you can see the warping. It's a pretty good warp to it. So just pretend that the clamps aren't here. Oh, ooh, I'm sitting on my fuzz cloth. I actually stood up for that whole project. Okay, so tomorrow night I think I'm going to make a, I never did, it's the week of finishing things. So remember months ago, we made this dog themed composition book with Paws Are the Laws, which that is in last chance. So I would get that if you want it. And I have these little buttons. So I'm going to make a little junk tag and probably make a tassel. So if you want to see me work with some UV resin, make sure you come back tomorrow. It won't be till probably 8:30 though, because I have grow group till 8. So we're going to do that tomorrow. So let's go ahead and show you this. I may have to zoom out. Just don't mind the mess that's all over here. And don't mind the clamps. They're still on here, but it's so warped that it wasn't going to lay straight. Okay, there we go. So there is the sunflower pattern on a, I believe, it's about 33 inches long, and it's about 10.5 inches wide, and it's double C thick. It's probably a 2x, so that would be a 2x12. Is that right? 2x11, 2x12, that 10.5. How does all that work? Probably a 2x12. Jason says he loves it. Just don't mind the Frankenstein clamps, but so that is what the bottom looks like. If you happen to get sunflower pattern, it does make a cute leaner. If not, I do have a bunch of, quite a few size D transfers in the cart link that is in the description of the video. Lots of them are 65 to 85% off for Perks members. Like I'm talking, well, at my 40% off price, $5 and $6 for D size transfers. So make sure if you are a Perks member that you're looking at that sale tab. It just says sale, and it's only for Perks and designers. There's lots of very inexpensive transfers in there. Jason says he loves it. Oh, Benita did a smiley face and heart eyes, but it doesn't show up there, but it shows up in the stream. So thank you. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and hop off. Make sure you check out the graphics to the left. Lots of great specials. Flat rate, $8.99 shipping for Perks members and designers. If you've been wanting to join club, or you know someone who wants to join club but they're short on money, or they just don't think they can justify it, they can sign up in August for $1. It does go back to regular price September and October, but after that, if you're not satisfied with it, or if it just doesn't work for you, you can cancel at any time after the 3 months. But I highly suggest signing up for the Perks program. It's $20 a month. You automatically get that back in a $20 product credit that you can use in the next 30 days. You can shop retail pricing at 30% off. That also includes 30% off of your Club Couture subscription. So sign up for perks. Once that's activated, join Club Couture for $1 this month, and then September and October you can get for 30% off. Plus you get the $20 product credit, and you get 30% off of retail pricing. Perfect time for the upcoming holidays and for gift giving. You can totally DIY all of your gifts. So if I haven't said it enough, it pays to be a perks member. So I'm going to hop off my soapbox about that, but I do highly suggest that you look into the perks program. So with that, I hope you have a great rest of your night. I hope you have a great week. If I don't see you between now and then, be looking for my live that is scheduled for tomorrow. Mark your calendars for August 15th at 7:30 for my first Whatnot sale. And so yeah, have a great rest of your night. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you later. Thanks for watching.